They say stars are born. They move our imagination. They have a way of changing our lives. Coastal Connections welcomes actor Ruben Gomez from General Hospital, Modern Family, and the remake.
All right, so always, Ruben, how are you doing, Mr. Gomez?
Oh, I am doing really good now that I'm with you guys. This is gonna be a very good day.
All right, so we have Ruben Gomez from General Hospital, the remake, and Mike G are in the house. And I'm gonna try to get both of them to sing a little bit in Spanish because they are rocking it earlier, everybody. All right, so Ruben's from Argentina. So what we're going to ask Ruben up front is, Ruben, you came here and you didn't speak English and you ended up getting into acting. You've done some great takes and we're going to show those later in the show. But, you know, what is your journey from coming from Argentina and you were just sitting in Argentina and you woke up and you decided, you know what, I'm going to America because I'm going to be an actor. You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So how do you, so what made you want to come to America and pursue a career in acting?
Well, since I was about 13 or 14, I loved the movies, obviously American movies, where you read the print. But I always wanted to be an actor since I was a kid. And so it was not easy to decide. But I became an actor at 16 in Argentina. But in there, you had to start in the theater. I was very, very lucky that I belonged to the most well-known drama school. The name of the director was Marcelo Lavalle. You can find it in Wikipedia, everywhere. The guy was well-known. So for 3 years, I had that, and I was doing theater and radio and a lot of other things. But I wanted to come to the United States for Hollywood, and that's how I ended up here.
All right. So did you? So when you got here, I was just blown away. So you got here, didn't speak English, and you found your way to Hawaii, California. All right, help me out.
You even you were a paramedic. You were doing it all, Ruben. You were doing it all.
I did, like I told you, I didn't have a profession. All I knew how to do was acting, but you couldn't make any money. Who's going to give me work? So I couldn't support myself doing that. So I would get any kind of a job that I found. I worked as a busboy in the best place in Los Angeles, and I was serving coffee to Cary Grant and Stephen Boyd. And because I was working in the international ballroom of that hotel, the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills. So I had been here only a few months. I didn't speak English. But they gave me a really nice uniform and said, go serve coffee. And I did it. And because I was young and they said I was cute, so they put me there. So from that job to another, life kept taking me there and here. But always with that thing in mind, I wanted to act. And so how did I become a paramedic? Actually, my brother went to live in Hawaii with his girlfriend who was in dental school. I went with him. I was looking for a job and I found out the Red Cross, in 6 months, they train you to be a paramedic. Free. So of course I went. My English was really good then. So I did it and I finished and I got a job in the #1 ambulance company in Honolulu. And I did it for 2 years and it was a great job. The girls loved our uniform and seeing us in the uniform,
Yeah, and you were a singer too. You just get your mantra And your resume is just huge. You know, now a CV, your CV is like off the chart, you know. So I'll let Mike get on this because you two were singing before the show. Hey, let me tell y'all something before we go any further. These two were singing in Spanish before the show and they were killing it. And so we got to get this out.
That's how Latinos do. Un amor de la corazón que pasa con el mundo hoy. Mira.
Me vas a matar. Me vas a matar con esa voz.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a question. A question from your bio, sir.
Sí. Yes.
You met Frank Sinatra's daughter, Nancy? Tell me about that.
Yes. Yes, of course.
It's just Frank Sinatra.
Look, I have too many stories. We're going to have to do 10 shows. But what happened is this. I had been here very, very short period of time. I met an Argentine guy who had been here a year. He spoke English. And he had a friend who was an Argentine boxer who was going to be fighting in Las Vegas. And he said, he needs a translator. You come for the show. So because he was the friend of the boxer, we went to the dressing room. But we couldn't stay in the dressing room, so we had to stay outside. So when I went outside, there was this cute girl, about 20 years old, and I recognized her. It was Nancy Sinatra. But because the boxer that was boxing on the other side, a black guy, very good, Emil Griffith was his name, was friends of Nancy Sinatra's husband. She was married. So she asked me where I'm from, Argentina. And I said, "What are you here? I want to be an actor." She says, "Well, you know, my dad and Jack Warner own the Warner Studios. I'm going to give you a card with my signature. I'm going to write something here so you can go and present it there. You can go in and out of the studio whenever you feel like it." Huh? That sounds very good.
That sounds really good.
So I got that.
Because you're handsome.
And that's how I did it. I would go to the studio in and out, and I would look at shootings. I would walk in. Nobody stopped me. I would just walk around. That's how it happened.
Hey, so you know you were a singer. So hey, Mike, throw up Ruben's picture back in the day when he was singing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know why he got the parts. Look at this supermodel. Okay.
Oh, let me see.
Bam! Look at that. Oh, you got it.
Oh, yeah.
You forgot about that one?
I remember that. Yes.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He was the man of Hollywood. So how was it working in the hotel, the Beverly Hills Hotel? 'Cause that's where you started. I can imagine how many people were coming in and out, how many celebrities you've seen.
I tell you something. At the time, my life was so incredible in that sense that I never tried to tell my friends that I left in Argentina because they would never believe me. What, you just left from the United States and now you're meeting all the stars? No, but it was true because I was a busboy. They all came to eat there. You know, I would help and I would give it. I remember a very cute girl named Jean Powell. She was so cute, a singer and an actress. And she asked me, "Catch a bottle of coffee?" And I didn't know what she said, but I heard coffee. So I brought her coffee. She said, no. And I said, "No, coffee. No. So I did it twice, and she said, no. So I called the waiter that I worked with, and he says, "No, what she wants is bring a fresh cup and then put the coffee in." So those were my little experience every day, but it was with famous people. You know, there was a guy who used to play Tarzan. His name was Johnny Westmuller.
Just really must be the Olympian.
So after one of the events, Johnny says to me, "Come with me to my room and bring me a pitcher of beer. I'll give you a good tip." And all my friends in the bar saying, "You're lucky. I go in the elevator with him." And we go upstairs. He gave me 50 cents. Even then, 50 cents was nothing.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so hey, Ruben, so since you were already waiting tables and bringing coffee, so we were talking earlier about your general hospital experience with the drinks, because you know we were going over our favorite drinks, you know, pina coladas, mai tais. So could you kind of go back and tell everybody what happened on General Hospital when you went to bring the drinks to the other actor?
No, no, no. I don't tell anybody anything.
Okay.
I keep it to myself.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Hey, you are awesome, man. And one of the things that we were looking at, me and Mike, were is that you came here, you didn't speak in English, you went to the next level of meeting stars. And so, how did you end up at UCLA?
Well, I lived in Los Angeles, and of course, everybody knew about UCLA. It was the place to go. So I started at Santa Monica College, and then I transferred to UCLA because I expected it. I didn't apply to any school, only one, because I didn't know you were supposed to apply to different schools. And I was lucky I got accepted because I didn't know any other school. So that's how I ended up in UCLA. And of course, the best thing that happened to me in my education was not the education, was that cute girl that I met in a Spanish class. What do you mean a Spanish class? You're from Argentina, you were taking Spanish? Yes, I wanted to get good grades to transfer to UCLA.
Straight A's.
And the professor says to me, you want to stay in my class? You speak Spanish. So I let you stay, but only with one condition. You have to help me correct papers. And I said, anything you want. Okay, fine, I'll stay in the class. Oh man, the first day of the semester, I see this cute girl walking in and she sits in the front row. And I was sitting in the back row. I should have been in the first row. It took me a whole week to get it on time to catch her when she left. She always would leave fast. And finally, I asked her out and she said, no, of course. But I insisted, and finally she said yes. And she told me her name was Lina Lana Delaney. And I like that name. And you know what? 2 weeks after I met her, I asked her to marry me. And she
Wow.
yes, it's true. And she was so nice that she didn't tell me, what's the matter with you? Are you crazy? She didn't say that. She said, well, I'm young. I want to have experiences with life. I want to wait a little bit. And I thought, okay, that makes sense. She wants to wait. So I waited a whole month and I asked her again and she said no. She said, no, not a month. I'm talking about years. Oh, guys, I'll tell you something. Dating a girl for 4 years and not dating anybody else, it was wonderful because we got to know each other so well. And so many years later, we're still around together.
That's right. Somebody once said, out from it was an old guy in my neighborhood in Louisiana when I went back to visit. He once said that you can have all the girls you want, but it takes a real man to keep one woman for a lifetime, Ruben.
Yeah, I got lucky. So my education, besides the master's, I got Lynn.
So once you got your degree, did you actually go into acting full time, or did you go do something else between the time? Because I even talked to several other actors that we've had, and they all talk about the starving actor thing. Is that you're constantly being interviewed, you're constantly going to meet people, you're constantly hustling. And you were back in are we talking the 80s or the 90s when you were going through this process?
Yeah, no, I went in. I wanted to sing. When I was a teenager, I was singing, and I was good. So I never forgot about that. And I wanted to go back to singing. And eventually, through people that I knew, I got to make a recording. My songs were playing in the radio, really good radios here in Los Angeles and in California. And so I ended up going on a tour of radios in California. My songs went somewhere else. One song ended up at the University of Uppsala in Sweden, and so I ended up going there so that they would meet me and listen to my song. So it got like that, and CBS Records in Latin America signed me. So that's what I did first, but I always wanted to continue acting, and sooner or later, about 12 years ago or something like that, we really got to do it. And I'm very happy. And I tell you something, to me, becoming a member of the SAG-AFTRA union was a dream, and it was a dream come true. The day I got it, I thought I was in seventh heaven. Yes, because you have to. You're an actor, but to be respected, you have to belong to a group of actors.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm very
you, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no.
No. So you did receive a certificate of recognition from the mayor of Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, Tom
Oh,
Bradley.
very
When my
nice.
album first came out, he gave me a recognition, and it was really nice because he was the mayor and the ex chief of police of Los Angeles. Well respected. As a matter of fact, part of the LA airport is called Tom Bradley Building. So yes, I received that, and I was very proud and happy.
All right, so I just can't. You just won't even sing me like two lines from anything. Can I just have? Come on, Ruben, help a brother out here, man. Just give me just a little bit of flavor. Just sing a little something, man. You killed it at the beginning. See, now you're gonna go cold
Oh,
turkey on me.
well, I also like to sing in Italian.
Sing in Italian. We're game anything. Something small. Come on, just something little bit.
Credo che un sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipingevo le mani, la faccia di blu. Poi d'improvviso venivo dal vento rapito. Okay, that's enough.
Ruben Gomez, everybody. Exclusive. It's exclusive right here. We're gonna have an album soon, 2024. Ruben. I think sign it. Sign it now. We need to bring love back.
Well, I also majored in Italian in UCLA because I learned how to speak Italian since I was a kid, living in Argentina with so many Italians.
So that's two easy
Italian
A's.
is my second language, I think.
So two easy A's is what you're telling me. Two easy A's.
So, question, Senor Ruben Gomez. Do you see yourself doing comedy in the future? Anything like that? Or because you play some nice gangster roles. I like the table scene. I was really nice. You were like, who's mayor? You know who the fuck we're fucking. That was passion. Do you see any comedy in the future? Like, because I think I see you're funny. I mean, you're very entertaining.
I have to tell you this. I always like comedy. I don't get parts in comedy. They always look at me and they think he's either the drug lord or the Wall Street guy or an attorney or stuff like that, but they don't see me, maybe not yet. But I like comedy. I would love to be in a TV show where it's a comedic role. Yes, but I did like playing the bad guy and that drug. Oh, this one, the crazy doctor. Oh, yeah. The patient didn't know what
He
was
said the crazy doctor.
Yes. He didn't know. Everybody was saying, what's this doctor? Are you sure he's a doctor?
Well, that's why I said the comedy thing, because I seen that. I thought that was funny. I mean, I could imagine the whole screenwriting of it. It's like, you're sick. That was very good, very clear. They had the effect on it. Very nice.
I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, so I can see, you're talking about always being Scarface or the cartel lord, but now, Ruben, you I mean, you have just a breadth of roles, and so how's everything going right now with, since you got through COVID and everything of dealing with the COVID with the acting industry. So what do you got in the works now that you could talk about? Because I know you can't talk about everything. If you got a part, everything has to be quiet until it's released. We know all that, but how's everything going right now for you?
Well, this year and a half or 2 years have been difficult for absolutely everybody. One thing that happened is that we did not have in-person auditions anymore. And so the self-tape auditions started because of that. And for us, it's easier because we had experience in filming a movie. We just needed to make a little studio in our house, which we did because, Lynn is an artist. She paints. And she has a very nice studio in the house. And we made it into half studio and half studio for filming. So we are able to, when we get an audition, to tape ourselves. And we're lucky enough that being both actors, we can interchange and I can read for her and she can read for me. We have done commercials. I've done several commercials. I just did a couple recently. The thing is, the difference between self-taping and going in person, the best thing that I like is that you can shoot your scene 20 times until you get it right, because that's how it is. You're at home, you're shooting yourself. But when you go in person, they make you read something and in 2 minutes you're out. They expect that you prove how good you are in those 2 minutes or less.
Wow. I mean,
That
you
was-
guys perfection out of the gate, huh?
yeah. Okay, now that is a senator. See, that guy could be a senator. Look at the way he looks. He looks corrupted. Look at him. Huh?
So what kind of roles do you enjoy playing?
I like that one. Working with those guys is really, really fun. It was really, really nice. I love playing that. Now, I don't know. I think I mentioned it to you, but I'm doing something else now that I never thought of doing, but I guess it was in the back of my mind. Once I became a member of the union, about 10 years ago, Lynn and I got involved a little bit, being a little bit more than just actors, members of the union. So about less than a year ago, I was approached by somebody that I didn't know, a very nice actress. Her name is Lee Purcell, which she has more work and she has worked her whole life. You've seen her in everything. And I was approached to become a member of certain group, a senior group, as part of the union. And so I became a member through her. And that brought the idea that I would like to be a convention delegate. Now that was something crazy, because you have to know a lot of people to do that. You have to be in the union, and it's like politics, you know. But I wanted to do it, and she helped me, and a couple of other actresses helped me. And I got elected by almost 5,000 votes of other actors that voted for me. I don't know that many actors, but they did vote, and I got elected, so I'm a delegate. And it's a big thing. On top of that, we have a new president of the SAG-AFTRA union, an actress, Fran Drescher. You remember her show?
Yes, yeah. Fran, yeah. The one
Nanny.
with, yes.
The nanny.
The
She was
Nanny.
amazing. Well, she is the president. She appointed me to two national committees. And now I'm involved with that too, which is a serious work. I wanted to do it because I want to try to do whatever I can to help the laws that we have and the regulations to make things better for actors. Because don't forget that big actors that are under contract, they make millions, but you have many thousands of actors that for them is a job. And maybe they work once a week, 3 times a week, or they work a month and then they don't work. So we have to have some laws and things that protect them. And that is what I'm involved now, that I love doing.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because so many people think that actors make a ton of money. And we had Anne-Marie Johnson, her, I guess she used to be like vice president of the SAG back a couple of years back. And she was talking about, everybody thinks that actors are just paid because they see the big actors on the screen. They don't realize that the thousands of people behind the screens are working 3 jobs, and they're coming in to do that one part and 2 parts. So, I mean, so you went through that grind yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, the union has, in the United States, 160,000 members. That's a lot of members. The biggest place is Los Angeles. We have 80,000. Just think about it. Not everybody is a big star. You have thousands of actors that every single day go to auditions and they're trying to make a living, and also to try to keep medical insurance like they get from the union, or maybe help to maybe study to pay for university, or if you're sick, they'll pay your bills. So that is very, very important. I'm involved in that now, and I'm very, very proud and very happy. And I can't believe that I was able to get to this point because it's not easy, but I was very lucky that some people thought that I could do a good job.
All right, so let me ask you this. So what's your take on, as we're getting winding down here, we got a few minutes left. What's your take on the independent film industry? Because I was at Fort McPherson, they closed it. Tyler Perry bought the base, set up Tyler Perry Studios out of there. Honestly, I think he's the man that saved Atlanta because of some of the stupid stuff that happened in Atlanta that closed industries down, Ford, and the base, and jobs were gone. So Tyler Perry went in there and saved it. But now we have so many people standing up, like, the Blair Witch Project kind of started it, independent films, and just actors putting stuff out there. They're not in any union, and they don't have any of the protections that they have, like you have. What's your take on all that, of how we've evolved with stream media and movies and independent films?
Well, one of the things that have to happen is that at the very bottom, you have the background actors. And background actors are everywhere. Every time you watch a TV show or a movie, you see people walking around and doing stuff. Those are actors, and they get paid. Now, aside from getting paid, they also need respect. And the respect makes it better for the actor and better for the production company too. Because when you're happy in doing something, what you're doing, you do anything. You work hard, you just put your heart into it. There's no way that we're not going to have independent movies. For example, the TV shows, when they have backgrounds, by our laws, they have to have 25 actors that belong to the union for background. If they need 35 background people, the first 25 has to be union. So there are many of those. Now, I belong to two national committees, but I also belong to a local committee that has to do with protection of the background actors. I'm involved in that now, and I'm telling you,
that's what I'm talking about.
Really, really hard. I have ideas and some people that think like me that we're gonna try to change things. So independent movies, independent shows, we're always going to have them. But I think that what makes it be better is that the production companies realize that they need these people, that you cannot treat them bad or not respect them. You have to pay them well, and you have to treat them like actors. Everybody's an actor. Just because your background doesn't mean you stop being an actor.
True. Hey, Mikey, what you got, man?
What I got is I love the acting. I've always wanted to be an actor, never got a chance to, because I like being funny. I like playing around. I like the art of it. I like the art of music.
Still do it. You can still do it.
Call me. But I also found, Vince, I got some cool stuff to show everybody. I found your video. Look at this. What?
Well, she's in the middle,
Look at that.
That's nice. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Man, boy, you're a man of many skills, I must say.
Hey, so Ruben, before we roll out of here, what advice would you give? And one, I think, is you definitely need to start going back to Argentina and being a keynote speaker to young Argentinians in the acting business. But what advice would you give young actors today with the complexities of social media and getting into acting and making sure that they have a good run and they work with the right people to do the right thing? Because there's so many false prophets out there, agents out there that sell and take people's money and come up short. So you've been through the business a lot. You understand it. So what advice would you give anybody young that would want to become into acting?
Well, what I would say is you need to, and if you can, because you have to pay for acting classes, you need to do that. You need to learn the basics. But I have to tell you something that an actor told me once when I was so young. And he was shooting a TV show, and in his break, I said to him, tell me something. Do you think you can help me? You're a famous actor. He says, my best advice to you is going to be this. Don't ask ever any actor for help, because they're all competition. You need to ask directors, producers, casting directors, agents, any other people. And you need to network. And so I didn't know what networking in English meant. I looked at it in the dictionary. So my advice is, yes, study and try to network any way you can, and try to work in any little movie that they want you to do, even if they don't pay you. If they want you to shoot something, somebody's going to make a short and they only going to do is give you lunch, do it. Or student films, do it, because you're going to be learning. And instead of going to school to learn it, like USC, where it costs $80,000 a year, you're going to learn it on the job. That's my advice.
Awesome. Hey, Ruben, it's been awesome. But before we get out of here, Mike, you got anything before we get out of here?
Senor Ruben Gomez, it's been a pleasure meeting you. It's a very entertaining. I had a lot of fun with the talents you have, music.
Thank you for having me.
Paramedic.
I had a lot of fun. You guys are awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm not gonna let you off the hook, Ruben. So here's the deal. We're gonna close out the show. Me and Mike are gonna say keep it rolling, but you gotta sing as we go off, man. You gotta close us out with a nice little song, man. Help me out, man. All right, so hold up. As we always say, Mike, hit your mic. Keep it rolling.
Cuánto tiempo disfrutamos este amor. Nuestras almas se juntaron, tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueño, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. De mi vida doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años, muchos más. Nuestro amor se rendirá, tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí.
See ya!
So this shirt is more than Grace the Cloud. Buy Shopify.